Welcome to our next tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be making the blade teeth part here. And everything else has been made so far. So we've made the blade, we've made the neck part, the shoulder part, we've made the hilt, the handle, and the small thingy bob down the bottom. And one thing that I have not done so far, which some of you may tell me off for, is not renaming things. So let's just do that now, just to do some housekeeping. Because I like to keep things organized. Don't you? Even though my study desk is a mess, but I have a legit excuse for that. Alright, so handle is okay, handle guard, plane, that would be the hilt. Let's call that the hilt. H-I-L-T, hilt. Plane 1, what is that? Plane 1 is the shoulder, let's call it the shoulder. S-H-O-U-L-D-R. That would be, let's call it the neck. We call it a visor, looks like a visor, but let's call it a neck for now. And we'll call it the blade, okay? Blade. Alright, blade. Now, we will now do the teeth part, okay? So what we're going to do is, in order to make the teeth part, this part look really symmetrical, we will need to rotate the reference image 90 degrees. Well, but instead of rotating this reference image which we already have, I'm simply going to switch it off, and I'm going to add another one. Where is it? Blade reference. Yup, cool. Let's rotate this, and we want to center it. So move it this, and then move it up. I think this was covered in our first tutorial, so if you want to know how I'm doing this, please have a look at the first tutorial. So I just want to keep rotating it until I get roughly this object hits the symmetrical line of the axis of symmetry, which is here. So it looks like you have to be between 4.9 and 5.00. So let's make it 4.95 and see what it looks like. Nope. To 4.96. Nope. Oops. 4.97. Yeah. Alright. Close enough. People are not going to notice. I mean, people who don't watch this tutorial are not going to notice. Okay. Let's get cracking, shall we? Okay, so we need to center the cursor. So 3D cursor, put in the center. Gotta create a plane. Tab into edit mode. Delete everything, and we're gonna start by outlining this part. So we just outline it. Make sure, since we're gonna flip it later on, you gotta make sure that any part, any vertex that falls on the z-axis has to be centered. So by centering, we just basically make the y and x coordinate 0. Turn this thing off because it is annoying, and then just basically add in your vertex points. Yeah, vertex points. I'm not gonna make the curve. Should I make the curve? Let's make the curve. Alright, let's make the curve. I'm just thinking whether or not we should or we shouldn't. Alright, from here, click down here. It's okay, because it's going to be covered anyway, since, you know. Make sure that's zeroed. And then what we can do is, actually, no, let's make these parts first before we flip it. So click here, or right click here, sorry. Shift right click here, tools, loop slide, cut and slide, and select here. And then what I want you to do now is right click and drag it. So it's approximately here. And repeat it again. Yeah, I think it should be fine. I'm just thinking whether or not I should make this part pop out, like all 3D-ish, or should I just leave it as a flat plane? I mean, there's really no harm doing so. It just takes a lot more time, that's all. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So just watch what I'm doing, and I mean, basically, some of you might ask me, how do you know where to put the points? Well, basically, you just have to stop and think on a 3D level. Like, what parts do I want to lift? What parts are likely to have, like, you know, vertices connect to, and then from there on you can pretty much work out what to do. You just gotta be a bit more creative, you know, think outside the box. Alright then, so let me think. We are going to, well, I'm going to. Alright, I'm going to lift, I'm going to rotate everything. Turn everything off first. Turn everything off. Alright. I'm going to rotate it forwards. Yep, okay, rotate everything forwards, and then I'm going to move this back. Move this back. Hold on, I'll just move everything forwards and then I'll move it back. Oops. Move it back. Alright, I'm going to... Oops. I'm going to zero out these two. Zero. And I'm going to smooth out these two. So bird's eye view. And smooth it out. Usually I just hit rotate. And then I can move it up and down as I want to smooth it out. So R for rotate. And okay. There you go. So it's been smoothed out. Smoothed. Now we're going to lift these lift, not leave, lift this part up. I'm going to add a bit more slices into here. So we'll go to tools, loop cut and slide. I'll add 2 more. And then I'll do the same here. Center it on the X. Ooh, what's doing that? That is odd. Okay, what's going on now? Oh, I know why. Because I highlighted these as well. You see what happens is when you select points, there will be a midpoint cursor that is invisible to you, and what happens is the median is basically the median of all the vertex points. So it's the invisible cursor. So I gotta, yeah. So I see. X0, there we go. So it's now been zeroed on the X, like from left to right. It's now in dead center. It's dead center. It's no longer deviated to the right or deviated to the left. Alright, so now we're going to lift these points up to make it look 3D. 3D. Alright, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. Okay, now a bit more. Okay, and then we are going to make some parts go, we're going to drop some parts as well so that it has a 3D effect. I'm going to drop this part, this part, this part, this part, and this part down. Oops. Like that. Okay. Okay. Alright, so once you're happy with how it looks, once you're happy with how it potentially might look as a 3D object, then you can start putting the polygons. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Polygon. Switch you off. Switch you off. Oops. Okay, so that's what happens when you select more than 2 points and you hit F by accident, like me being an idiot. Control Z. Okay, 2 points to make an edge. Alright, I'm somewhat happy, I guess. Somewhat happy. Okay, let's flip it now. A, Shift T, click, mesh, mirror, X global, and then you want to take off the negative symbol. A again, W, remove doubles. Removed 9 vertices. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Beautiful. So it captured all 9 vertices in the line of in the axis of symmetry. Alright, so now we have this object done. Not yet. We need to make faces for it. Okay. Now I'm going to turn off the background image because it's now becoming a distraction for me. There we go. So that's what the blade... Oh, okay, I turned off everything else. That's okay. Alright, I mean, it looks ugly because there's no color. Duh. There's no color, so we'll just turn everything back on. And we're going to try and fit it. We're going to try and fit it. So I'm going to rotate everything. A again, R to rotate. I'm going to hit 90. It says angle 72, 90. Toggle out of object mode, and then click this down here to turn this on, and then you can move it. I should turn off background image. Wireframe mode, so you can see where you're meant to place it. And once you're happy with the placement, go into solid mode. Now you can see that it's obviously cut out. It's cut out. You can see that, right? I can see that, so I think you can see that too. So how do we deal with a problem like this? How do we deal with a problem like this? Well, for one, you can squish everything. So click on this. You can squish it down until you're happy with what it looks like. It's pretty gross, huh? I'm still not happy with what it looks like. Alright. Looks like we can't do anything in object mode, so we're gonna jump to edit mode. Edit mode. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, now we will wireframe mode, shall we? Yeah, wireframe mode. Okay, so obviously these parts here, this and this and this and this is too high. That's why it's poking through. Right? We need to keep it so that it doesn't poke through. So we can try and mess around with it. Oh, okay. That worked well. Did it? Did it? No, I dare say it did not. Okay, I know why. Because what happened is, when I did that, it basically pushed back this face as well, which I did not want that to happen. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna delete this face. Don't worry, we can repair it later. Alright, and just click all the vertices, hit F and see what happens now. There we go. Looks a bit better. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Rinse and repeat on the other side. So this is why. This is one of those cases where it's very important where you place very important where you place the edges. But you know, I mean, I think if something doesn't look right, it's a good thing that you can change it. Actually, that's a bad idea. See, even I make mistakes. It's called being human. That should stay there because that's the borderline. That's the outline for that. So then, what do we do? I'm going to put in a point here, and I'm going to put in a point. Well, we'll worry about that later. Actually, no. Let's do it now. So that we can do both at the same time. What? No. Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. Okay. So now we have a point there. Connect that to there. Connect that to there. So we have two big triangles. And then we just basically connect everything else to that point. Hopefully this will solve the problem. Go back to oops. Select all the vertices surrounding the empty points. You can toggle between solid mode and wireframe mode to check. Hit F, and voila, it is fixed. Lovely. Now we can do the same to the top part. Okay. I'm gonna move it in just a little bit. Just a smidge. Oh, what happened there? Can you see there? There's a bit of orange residue, like an orange line. And that usually happens because of doubles. So we talk about double vertices. And is there one here? Possibly. On the other side. I don't know why it's doing that though. Oh, I know why. There we go. It didn't create two triangles. Instead, it created this giant triangle here, and it failed to take this edge into account to make two small triangles. So we're going to delete this big triangle. Oops. Ctrl Z. Only faces. And we're going to try and make two small triangles. There we go. It is fixed. It is fixed. Alright. So now I know that we want to jump up and join and say it's done, but it is not done yet. We still have to extrude this part down, because otherwise if you look at it from the side, it's going to have this huge gaping hole, which we don't want. Okay, so click on the object, go back into edit mode, click on the vertices that you want to extrude. Once again, you can't just go Alt right click, because you just select everything on the perimeter, and that's what we don't want. Okay, so up to here. So it's just this part. You don't want to include these two endpoints. EY extrude, and then what you want to do is SY to scale it so that you flatten it out. Scroll up, change the Y to 0, and just fill in any gaps that you have, like here. And down there should be one more. Where are you? There you are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Okay. Okay. So go back to object mode, and there you have it. The Keyblade is done. Well, not yet. It's not done for many reasons. There are no colors, there's no chain, and it's not usable. But it looks nice nonetheless. So if you check my DeviantArt, usually once I've hit this stage, I will usually post an image, a preview image on DeviantArt. But other than that, yeah. Alright, so in our next video tutorial, I will teach you how to make UV maps and how to export the UV maps, how to import the UV maps into Photoshop, how to add color to them, and then how to put the colors back in, and then ultimately import into PMD, PMX, and rig it. Okay, I will see you next video. Bye bye!